All right, so I've drawn the green graph is just a typical cubic graph, and I've drawn tangent lines at each point. And notice if you're at these values down here, if you're down here, I'm down sort of to the left of -5 over here. On that graph, you can see at that point the tangent line's pretty steep. The slope of that tangent line is going to be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something. It's pretty steep. And the closer you get to this maximum point right here, there's your maximum point right there. The closer you get, the slope of this one is probably like 1/2, right?
Yeah.
And the slope finally of that maximum point is 0.
Okay.
Those slopes right there are exactly what the derivative of this graph, of this green graph, the derivative is going to be a quadratic equation, right? Because the green graph is a cubic, so when you take the derivative, it turns into a quadratic. And that quadratic, all of the values of that quadratic, you're going to have a point here, and you're going to have a point here, and it's going to be going like this. That graph, I didn't draw that very well, but you get my point. You see how you see how the points further down here, like way down here, are going to be up here. They're going to be really big points. Why? Because those values, the slopes, you're basically finding the slopes of the tangent line at those points. So if I put more tangent lines in here, those now become negative. The slopes of those are negative because those are going down from left to right, right? And that's why all of these values right here are negative.
Okay.
That's why those are negative values. All of these values are negative because the slope of the tangent lines of all of the points from here to here, all of those values, if I've drawn tangent lines, those are all negative. So the derivative graph is going to be below the x-axis. And then when I get above it, when I get back above that x-axis, right here, those values, as well as these values to the left, those all, see how they're slanting, see how they're going up if you drew tangent lines on those? Any of those points there, if you drew a tangent line, the slope would be a positive. And the further you get to the right, in this case, the further positive it gets. And this value right here is exactly at 0 because that is the minimum point. The slope is 0. The rate of change of that point is 0 for that given point.